BNP Paribas is a French bank and financial services company with headquarters in Paris, and a global headquarters in London. It was formed through the merger of Banque Nationale de Paris and Paribas in 2000 and is one of the largest banks in the world. Based on 2012 information, BNP Paribas was ranked as the fourth largest bank in the world, as measured by total assets, by Bloomberg and Forbes. BNP Paribas escaped the 2007 Euro 09 credit crisis relatively unscathed, reporting a $3 billion net profit for the year of 2008, and a $5.8 billion for 2009, both years boosted by profits from trading in its corporate and investment banking division. BNP Paribas has one of the highest credit ratings in its peer group, with the long-term debt of the group currently ranked A+ by S&P, A2 by Moody's and A+ by Fitch. The firm is a universal bank split into three strategic business units: retail banking, corporate and investment banking, and investment solutions. BNP Paribas's four domestic markets are France, Italy, Belgium, and Luxembourg. It also has significant retail operations in the United States, Poland, Turkey, Ukraine, and North Africa, as well as large-scale investment banking operations in New York, London, Hong Kong, and Singapore. BNP Paribas was awarded the 2012 Bank of the Year award by the International Financing Review, Thomson Reuters' leading financial industry publication. The IFR Awards are a key industry benchmark, and Bank of the Year is the top honor awarded. In June 2014, BNP Paribas pleaded guilty to falsifying business records and conspiracy, having violated U.S. sanctions against Cuba, Iran, and Sudan. It agreed to pay a $8.9 billion fine, the largest ever for violating U.S. sanctions. History, background and heritage as two banks, 1820 Euro 2000, BNP. On March 7, 1848, by the French provisional government, founded the Comptoir National d'Escompte de Paris in response to the financial shock caused by the Revolution of February 1848. The upheaval destroyed the old credit system, which was already struggling to provide sufficient capital to meet the demands of the railway boom and the resulting growth of industry. The CEP grew steadily in France and overseas, although in 1889 there was a crisis in which it was temporarily placed in receivership. Separately, on April 18, 1932, the French government replaced Banque Nationale de copyright it, which failed as a result of the 1930s recession, with the new bank Banque Nationale pour le commerce et l'industrie. The former bank's headquarters and staff were used to create BNCI with fresh capital of 100 million francs. The bank initially grew rapidly through absorbing a number of regional banks that got into financial trouble. After the Second World War, it continued to grow steadily. It grew its retail business in France and its commercial business overseas in the French colonial empire. After the end of the Second World War, the French state decided to put banks and credit to work for national reconstruction. René Copyright-Pleven, then Minister of Finance, launched a massive reorganization of the banking industry. A law passed on December 2, 1945, and which went into effect on January 1, 1946, nationalized the four leading French retail banks: Banque Nationale pour le commerce et l'industrie, Comptoir National d'Escompte de Paris, CRA Copyright dit Lyonnais, and Socia Copyright Tar Copyright Gare Copyright Na Copyright Rail. In 1966, the French government decided to merge Comptoir National d'Escompte de Paris with Banque Nationale pour le commerce et l'industrie to create one new bank called Banque Nationale de Paris. The bank was reprivatized in 1993 under the leadership of Michel Par Copyright Bro as part of a second Chirac government's privatization policy. Paribas. Banque de Paris et des Pays Bas was established on January 27, 1872, through the merger of Banque de Copyright dit et de Dar Copyright Partie des Pays Bas, which had been established in 1820 by Louis Raphael Bischoff Schim in Amsterdam, and Banque de Paris, which had been founded in 1869 by a group of Parisian bankers. It went on to develop a strong investment banking business both domestically in France and overseas. During the period 1872 to 1913, it was involved in raising funds for the French and other government as well as big businesses through a number of bond issues. It helped the French government raise funds during the First World War and raised further capital and expanded into investments into industrial companies during the Great Depression. It stagnated and lost assets during the Second World War. After World War II, it missed the nationalization of the other French banks due to its status as an investment bank and managed to take advantage of that by expanding its operations overseas. It also directs its activity towards businesses and participates in the development and restructuring of French industry, including names such as Groupe Bull and Thomson CSF. The bank was nationalized in 1982 by the government of Pierre Mauroy under François Section 1 Mitterrand as part of a law that nationalized 5 major industrial companies, 39 registered banks, and 2 financial companies, Suez and Paribas. It was reprivatized in January 1987 by the Chirac government. In the 1990s, Paribas had an active policy of acquisitions and divestiture. This included selling the Ottoman Bank to Doerre Holding, and setting up the joint venture lending company Siedlum in Germany. It sold CRA copyright dit du Nord to Socia copyright Tar copyright Gar copyright Na copyright Rail, and in 1998 it merged with Compagnie Bancaire, renaming the bank with the official name Compagnie Financière de Paribas. Founding of BNP Paribas till date, 2000 Euro present, in 1999, BNP and Socia copyright Tar copyright Gar copyright Na copyright Rail fought a complex battle on the stock market, with Socia copyright Tar copyright Gar copyright Na copyright Rail bidding for Paribas and BNP bidding for Socia copyright Tar copyright Gar copyright Na copyright Rail and counter-bidding for Paribas. BNP's bid for Socia copyright Tar copyright Gar copyright Na copyright Rail failed, while its bid for Paribas succeeded, leading to a merger of BNP and Paribas 1 year later on May 22, 2000. On August 9, 2007, BNP Paribas became the first major financial group to acknowledge the impact of the subprime crisis by closing 2 funds exposed to it. This day is now generally seen as the start of the credit crisis, and the bank's quick reaction saved it from the fate of other large European banks such as UBS. On October 6, 2008, BNP took over 75% of troubled bank Fortis activities in Belgium, and 66% in Luxembourg, in exchange for the Belgian government becoming the new group's major shareholder. The sales of the Fortis shares was suspended by a court order from the Court of Appeal on Friday 12 December. On December 14, 2008, BNP announced it could lose $350 million as a victim of the Madoff fraud. In the end of January, the Belgian government and BNP negotiated for a 75% partnership in Fortis Bank Belgium. Fortis Insurance Belgium would be reintegrated in Fortis Holding. On February 11, Fortis shareholders decided that Fortis Bank Belgium and Fortis Insurance Belgium should not become property of BNP Paribas. However, the acquisition was completed and BNP Paribas took 75% shareholding and renamed the new subsidiary BNP Paribas Fortis. After this, only Fortis Insurance International was left in Fortis Holding, and this was renamed as Ageas, a business that had insurance all over Europe and Asia. The remaining Fortis Bank Netherlands was in the hands of the Dutch government, which merged it with other ABN AMRO holdings it already owned under the name ABN AMRO. In May 2009, BNP Paribas became the majority shareholder of BGL, the state of Luxembourg retaining 34%, making BNP the Eurozone's largest bank by deposits held. On September 21, the bank's registered name was changed to BGL BNP Paribas, and in February 2010, BGL BNP Paribas became the 100% owner of BNP Paribas Luxembourg. The transfer was finalized on October 1, 2010, with the incorporation of BNP Paribas Luxembourg's business in the operational platforms of BGL BNP Paribas. In 2013, BNP Paribas was awarded the Bank of the Year award by the International Financing Review, Thomson Reuters' leading financial industry publication. The IFR awards are a key industry benchmark, and Bank of the Year is the top honor awarded. BNP Paribas reached an agreement in December 2013 to acquire Rabobank's Polish unit BGZ Bank for around $1.4 billion. Business units: retail banking, Retail banking is BNP Paribas' largest business unit, representing 45% of its 2009 revenues and employing 59% of the group's headcount. Its operations are concentrated in Europe, especially in the group's three domestic markets of France, Italy, and Belgium. The group also owns an American subsidiary, Bank West, which operates as Bank of the West in the Western United States and First Hawaiian Bank in Hawaii. BNP Paribas' Europe-Mediterranean group also runs large retail banks in Poland, Turkey, Ukraine, and Northern Africa. BNP Paribas is the largest bank in the Eurozone by total assets and second largest by market capitalization according to the Banker magazine, just behind Banco Santander. It employs over 201,000 people, according to the bank as of December 31, 2009, of which 80,000 work in Europe, and maintains a presence in 87 countries. Domestic markets, France. BNP Paribas runs one of France's largest retail banking networks with 2,200 branches and over 3,200 ATMs. In Paris alone, the bank has 187 agencies. BNP Paribas serves over 6 million French households and 60,000 corporate customers. In 2009, the French retail banking unit had revenues of $6.1 billion, income of $1.5 billion, and employs 31,000 people. Italy. In 2006, BNP Paribas purchased Banca Nazionale del Lavoro, Italy's sixth-largest bank at the time. In 2009, BNL had 810 branches in Italy, 2.5 million individual clients, and over 150,000 corporate clients. It grows to $2.9 billion in revenue and $540 million of net income, and employs around 13,000 employees. Belgium. BNP Paribas acquired BNP Paribas Fortis when it acquired the retail banking assets of the Belgian lender Fortis in 2009. This deal also included Fortis's subsidiaries in Poland and Turkey, now grouped in the Europe-Mediterranean division. United States. In the United States, BNP Paribas owns Bank West, which in turn operates retail banking subsidiaries Bank of the West and First Hawaiian Bank. Bank of the West operates in 19 western U.S. states, while First Hawaiian is Hawaii's leading bank with a 40% market share in deposits. Together the two banks operate 710 branches, and service 5 million clients. The two banks were merged into Bank West 1998, and BNP Paribas took full control of the combined entity in 2001. The group has a strong presence on niche markets such as lending for marine and recreational vehicles, church lending, and agribusiness. In 2009, Bank West had a $2.1 billion in revenues, and 11,200 employees. Bank West lost to $223 million in 2009 largely due to its exposure in the subprime mortgage crisis in California, Arizona, and Nevada. Emerging markets. In 2009, BNP Paribas reorganized its retail banking divisions, renaming its emerging markets group the Europe-Mediterranean Group. This change was made because after the integration of Fortis Bank's Polish and Turkish subsidiaries, BNP Paribas's emerging market activities are now heavily concentrated in Eastern Europe and the southern half of the Mediterranean basin. BNP Paribas is a member of the Global ATM Alliance, a joint venture of several major international banks that allows customers of the banks to use their ATM card or check card at another bank within the Global ATM Alliance with no ATM surcharges when traveling internationally. Other participating banks are Barclays, Bank of America, China Construction Bank, Deutsche Bank, Santander Surfin, AXA Bank, Scotiabank and Westpac. Corporate and investment banking. In addition to its retail activities, BNP Paribas is also a leading global investment bank through its corporate and investment banking unit. Although present in all investment banking markets, it is recognized as a global leader in derivatives trading, structured finance, and project finance. The firm is divided into 6 key business areas: fixed income. BNP Paribas fixed income team helps companies hedge their exposure to foreign exchange, interest rate, and credit risks, primarily through the structuring and sale of derivative products such as interest rate and foreign exchange swaps, foreign exchange options and credit derivatives. It also trades in these markets on behalf of clients or for its own proprietary account. On an average day, $250 billion in fixed income instruments are traded at BNP Paribas Amri Casa Euro unregistered trademark fixed income trading floor located just blocks from the Nasdaq market site in Manhattan, New York City. Equity and derivatives. BNP Paribas Equity and Derivatives team helps companies manage their risks and investment portfolios with equity derivatives such as options, futures, and swaps, as well as highly complex, customized solutions such as structured products. It also trades in these markets on behalf of clients or for its own proprietary account. Commodity derivatives. BNP Paribas Commodity Derivatives team helps clients hedge their exposure to commodity risk through the structuring and sale of commodity futures and OTC commodity swaps. It also trades in these markets on behalf of its clients or proprietary account. Investment banking. BNP Paribas Corporate Finance team performs most of the traditional investment banking functions of the group, including mergers and acquisitions advisory, and equity raising operations such as initial public offerings, rights issues, and convertible bond issues. Structured finance. BNP Paribas Structured Finance Group offers clients project finance solutions, export financing, syndicated loans, and financing for acquisitions and leveraged buyouts. Corporate and Transaction Group. BNP Paribas Corporate and Transaction Group offers clients simplified flow banking services including trade finance, international cash management, and basic hedging solutions. In 2009 BNP CIB earned $12.2 billion in revenue, $4.4 billion in pre-tax income, and 18,000 employees. Investment Solutions. BNP Paribas's Investment Solutions unit contains its asset management, custodial banking, real estate, insurance, online brokerage, personal investors, and wealth management activities. On June 11, 2008, BNP Paribas formally signed the final terms of an agreement to purchase the prime brokerage services division of Bank of America Securities. The sale is widely believed to be completed by the end of the third quarter, 2008. Asset management. The asset management activities of BNP Paribas are grouped into BNP Paribas Investment Partners. In 2009 BNP Paribas IP had 2,400 employees in more than 70 countries and $518 billion of assets under management. Events in 2005. On September 23, 2005, BNP Paribas was set to take a 20% stake in China's Nanjing City Commercial Bank, a Chinese official and state press reports said. BNP is going to sign a deal with us to buy a stake next month, an official from Nanjing City Commercial told AFP. The Shanghai-based Oriental Morning Post said BNP would pay up to $100 a million, although the bank official said the figure was incorrect. He declined to give further details. The French newspaper La Tribune reported in August 2005 that BNP Paribas had talked to four Chinese commercial banks Euro Ningbo, Hui, Nanjing and Zhuhai Euro, and was prepared to invest $50 a euro $100 million. We've talked to different financial institutions, but only BNP showed its good faith. It was not easy for us to reach an agreement, the Nanjing City Commercial Bank official said. BNP Paribas refused to comment. The International Financial Corporation, the investment arm of the World Bank, already owns 15% of Nanjing City Commercial Bank, which has regulatory approval to list on the country's domestic stock markets. Major shareholders: France, Belgium, AXA Insurance Company, customers, employees, General Mediterranean Holdings, sports sponsorships. BNP Paribas is one of the most important sponsors of the tennis French Open in Roland Garros Stadium since 1971. Main subsidiaries: retail banking, BNP Paribas France, Banque de Bretagne, Bank West, BMCI, BNP Paribas Egypt, Banque Nationale de l'Euro, Turk Economy Bankazi, BNP Paribas Fortis, BGL BNP Paribas, Sahara Bank, AXA Bank, BCI Marouge Djibouti, Banque de Wallis et Futuna, Banque Internationale pour le Commerce et l'Industrie du Zar Copyright Na Copyright Gal, Banque Gospodarki Angstrom United, BNP Paribas Sofia Bulgaria branch, other subsidiaries. Alfred Berg, Otis Real renamed BNP Paribas Real Estate, BNP Paribas Arbitrage, BNP Paribas Assurances with Cardiff, Pinnacle, BNP Paribas Asset Management, BNP Paribas Prime Broker AG, BNP Paribas Leasing Solutions with Arval, Car Leasing and Archie, BNP Paribas Securities Services, BNP Paribas Wealth Management with Isinger de Beaufort, BNP Paribas Private Banking, Seedlam, Laser UK with Galeries Lafayette, Court Alcancers, FundQuest, SBI Life Insurance Company Limited, a joint venture insurance company with State Bank of India, India's largest financial service company, owned by the Government of India, Geojit BNP Paribas, lately a BNP Paribas, FR, Creation Consumer Finance, Lafayette Services, BNP Paribas Personal Investors. Luxembourg, SAIB BNP Paribas Asset Management, Controversies, Check Processing. In 2010 the French government's Autorité Copyright de la Concurrence fined BNP and 10 other banks of $384 million for colluding to charge unjustified fees on check processing, including extra fees during the transition from paper check transfer to exchanges check image electronic transfer. On January 19, 2011 BNP sued Russian grain trader, OOO Rosintoagroservice, and its subsidiary OAO Kibinkelprodukt, claiming $20 million in debts and penalties. Nuclear investments. BNP Paribas is the biggest investor in the nuclear sector as a bank, according to Profondo, with more than $13.5 billion in nuclear investments. On October 23, 2011 Greenpeace organized a protest against BNP Paribas in 24 French cities. Sanctions violations. On May 30, 2014, The Wall Street Journal reported that the United States Department of Justice was negotiating with BNP Paribas over the size of a fine plus a possible guilty plea by the bank for violation of U.S. regulations regarding the bank's evasion of sanctions. The Department of Justice was seeking a fine in excess of $10 billion, which was expected to be reduced to $8 or $9 billion upon negotiation. Initial indications said that up to $100 billion from the sanctioned countries of Sudan, Iran, and Cuba had been laundered by BNP Paribas. On July 1, BNP Paribas pleaded guilty to falsifying business records and conspiracy in a New York state court, in connection to these violations. It is also expected to plead guilty to violating money laundering laws in federal court. It agreed to pay $8.9 billion, the largest fine ever for violating U.S. sanctions, substantially exceeding the previous record of $1.9 billion. Additionally, BNP Paribas will not be able to transact certain U.S. dollar-dominated transactions for 1 year. The fine exceeded the bank's 2013 annual income and the $1.1 billion it previously allocated for the anticipated fine. Failure to cooperate with the multi-year investigation was cited as a significant factor in the size of the fine. Additionally, BNP Paribas continued to process the sanctioned transactions after the investigation began. About 30 employees left the bank as a result of the investigation. After the fine was announced, BNP said it would be just fine, and that it had a comprehensive plan to avoid similar violations in the future. The company's stock, which had fallen 12% since news of the investigation leaked, rose 4% on the announcement. BNP Paribas will use a third party to clear its U.S. transactions to comply with the transaction ban. Standard & Poor's said it was reviewing the bank's financial standing in light of the fine and penalties for a possible downgrade. Russian President Vladimir Putin said in an interview that the U.S. government is using this case to blackmail France for the Mistral sale to Russia. He argues that the high fine and sanctions towards the French bank is a U.S. punishment for France's decision to not stop this deal. Previously, former European Central Bank President Jean-Claude Trichet said a large fine was neither fair nor proportionate to the violations and could disrupt the global banking system. Notable current and former employees: Andrew copywriter Zully, Lawrence of Habsburg, Archduke of Austria Est, Louis Alphonse of Bourbon, Duke of Anjou, considered by royalists as the head of the French royal house. Jacques de la Rosière, Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund. Governor of the Banque de France, Nassim Taleb, a Euro practitioner of financial mathematics, David McWilliams, a Euro economist, see also. Angolagate, Court of Conses, European Financial Services Roundtable, List of banks, List of French companies, List of investment banks, List of investors in Bernard L. Madoff Securities, primary dealers, references. External links, official website, list of branches and ATMs of BNP Paribas in France.